In the highly anticipated second episode of 1923 Season 2, a fresh wave of intrigue and complexity washes over the narrative with the introduction of U.S. Deputy Marshal M. Fawcett, portrayed by Jennifer Carpenter. This character is not only a force to be reckoned with, but a game changer for the series, one that will bring an entirely new dynamic to the already intense world of 1923. After the harrowing and emotionally charged first episode, which focused primarily on the brutal realities of winter, survival, and the ongoing development of familiar characters, episode 2 marks a shift, a move away from pure survival instincts into the realm of power, respect, and authority. It's in this episode that the story introduces a character who will challenge everything the Duttons and others in this unforgiving world have come to know. From the very moment she enters the screen, Monsieur Fawcett is a commanding presence. There is no need for grandiose speeches or over-the-top displays of power. Her sheer composure, intellect, and quiet confidence are enough to immediately distinguish her from the other figures in 1923. What makes her stand out most is how different her approach to law enforcement is compared to the men who dominate the series. Where figures like Marshal Kent and Renaud use aggression and intimidation as tools of control, Fawcett relies on something far more refined, authority rooted in respect, intellect, and strategy. In a world where power is often asserted through brute force, Miss Fawcett's calm and methodical approach to law enforcement is a stark contrast, and a much-needed one. While other characters may be quick to resort to violence, Monsieur Fawcett is deliberate in her every action. She doesn't lean on her physicality or brute strength to impose her authority. Instead, she leads by example, displaying a quiet yet powerful strength that makes her every word and action carry weight. She's not like the typical lawman of the time, where most characters in positions of power would lean into their masculinity and aggression. Fawcett brings a sense of emotional intelligence and sharp strategic thinking. She uses her understanding of human nature, her ability to remain calm under pressure, and her innate sense of control to shift the power dynamics of any room she enters. One of the most captivating aspects of Emma Fawcett's character is how quickly she sets herself apart in this deeply patriarchal world. In the rugged and violent landscape of the frontier, women are rarely seen in positions of power or authority. It's a world where masculinity is often associated with strength and dominance, and where authority is wielded through intimidation or force. But Monsieur Fawcett doesn't let these gendered expectations limit her. She walks through this male-dominated world with self-assurance, her every movement radiating a sense of purpose and control. Jennifer Carpenter's portrayal of M. Fawcett is masterful in capturing the depth and nuance of this character, whose mere presence challenges the status quo of authority in 1923. M. Fawcett's confidence is palpable, and it's clear from the outset that she understands the value of power, not as a tool for destruction, but as a force for order, fairness, and justice. As episode 2 progresses, we watch Emma Fawcett engage in a tense standoff with Marshal Kent and Renaud, two characters who are often quick to resort to violence and confrontation to settle disputes. The scene quickly escalates into a battle of wits and strategy rather than the typical physical confrontation we might expect in a show like 1923. It's here that we see Monsieur Fawcett's unique approach to authority and power come to the forefront. When confronted with Kent's belittling remarks and Renaud's palpable aggression, Monsieur Fawcett doesn't flinch. She remains cool, collected, and in control, allowing her sharp intellect to guide her every response. Her measured, thoughtful approach shifts the entire power dynamic, and the effect is almost immediate. The most striking moment in this confrontation comes when Monsieur Fawcett delivers a line that will undoubtedly become iconic within the series. "Respect that badge only if it respects you back." This line doesn't just challenge Kent and Renaud. It's a powerful commentary on the nature of power, respect, and authority. In a world where law enforcement and authority are often based on brute force, Emma Fawcett brings a new perspective, one that highlights the importance of mutual respect and the idea that authority, whether it's wielded by a badge or by a gun, is meaningless if it isn't earned. This line serves as both a challenge and a reminder. Power is not an inherent right. It must be earned, respected, and wielded with care. In the context of 1923, where violence and survival dominate the daily reality, Emma Fawcett's approach is a profound shift, one that forces the audience and the characters around her to reconsider their own views on authority and respect. Monsieur Fawcett's ability to maintain composure and uphold fairness in such a chaotic world speaks volumes about her character. In a time when the frontier is brutal, unforgiving, and often lawless, Monsieur Fawcett's dedication to justice presents an interesting contrast to the more ruthless and survivalist characters we've come to know. Unlike others, who are driven by revenge, fear, or a sense of duty, Monsieur Fawcett's actions are guided by a deep sense of morality. She represents an ideal that seems almost out of place in the lawless landscape of 1923, but that makes her character all the more compelling. She doesn't just uphold the law, she does so with integrity and a commitment to what is right, even when it's uncomfortable. Her unwavering dedication to fairness, particularly in the face of a world that is often indifferent to the suffering of others, marks her as a beacon of hope in an otherwise bleak environment. Beyond her personal moral compass, Mem Fawcett's presence introduces new tensions in the relationships between the existing characters. While she shares a sense of justice with Spencer Dutton, her approach is markedly different. Spencer is a man of action, driven by his own sense of vengeance and survival. Monsieur Fawcett, on the other hand, is a woman who believes in the power of intellect, strategy, and law to bring order to chaos. This contrast between the two characters could lead to intriguing dynamics. Will their shared sense of justice draw them closer together, or will their differing methods create friction between them? The potential for an alliance, or perhaps a rivalry, between Monsieur Fawcett and Spencer is a tantalizing prospect that will keep viewers on edge. It's clear that Monsieur Fawcett's story is only beginning, and the paths she crosses with other characters will undoubtedly shape the course of the season. Jennifer Carpenter's performance as M. Fawcett is one of the standout elements of 1923 Season 2. Her portrayal brings a level of complexity to the character that makes M not just memorable, but essential to the series. Carpenter expertly captures the internal struggle of a character who is trying to uphold order and justice in a world where such ideals are constantly being tested. There's an undeniable depth to her performance that makes Emmy Fawcett more than just a lawman. She is a symbol of integrity and fairness, someone who will likely force the other characters to reevaluate their own approaches to power and justice. As we move deeper into Season 2, it's clear that Ems Fawcett is poised to become one of the most important and influential characters in the series. Her presence will challenge the existing power structures, force characters to rethink their approach to authority, and introduce a much-needed contrast to the darker and more brutal elements that have defined the show so far. But the real question remains: will Monsieur Fawcett be able to maintain her commitment to justice and fairness in a world that constantly tests her? Or will the unrelenting forces of the frontier eventually push her to the brink? The introduction of Monsieur Fawcett is not just a fresh addition to the show, it's a turning point in the narrative of 1923. As the season progresses, M. Fawcett's role will continue to evolve, and it's clear that her story will intersect with those of other key characters, raising the stakes for everyone involved. With her quiet strength, intellectual prowess, and unwavering commitment to justice, Monsieur Fawcett is set to become one of the most memorable and significant figures in the 1923 universe. As the characters are forced to confront the moral complexities of their world, Mem Fawcett will undoubtedly play a crucial role in shaping the future of the series. As we continue into the heart of 1923 Season 2, the arrival of Emmy Fawcett marks a pivotal moment in the story. Her calm demeanor, intellectual strength, and unwavering commitment to justice set her apart in a world where violence and chaos often reign supreme. The contrast between her and the more traditional, aggressive lawmen like Marshall Kent and Renaud creates a fascinating tension that will no doubt evolve as the season unfolds. M. Fawcett isn't just another character, she's a catalyst for change. A figure who challenges the existing power structures and forces everyone around her to reconsider their approach to authority, respect, and survival. What makes Mem Fawcett such a compelling addition to the series is not only her strength, but the complexity of her character. She represents a refreshing shift in the narrative of 1923, one where justice isn't simply about violence or brute force, but about doing what is right, even in the face of overwhelming odds. As she navigates the turbulent landscape of the American frontier, her journey will undoubtedly intersect with the fates of other key characters, like Spencer Dutton, creating endless possibilities for alliances, rivalries, and emotional tension. With Jennifer Carpenter's stunning portrayal, Monsieur Fawcett becomes a character we can't help but be captivated by. Her presence elevates the show, adding depth and nuance to a world that is already rich in drama and complexity. As we look ahead to the rest of Season 2, the stakes are higher than ever. Emma Fawcett will continue to challenge the status quo, pushing the boundaries of what it means to wield power in a world on the edge of transformation. So, as we eagerly await the next episode, one thing is certain: Emma Fawcett is a force to be reckoned with, and her journey will shape the future of 1923. Don't miss what comes next. The battle for respect, power, and justice is just beginning, and the consequences will be far-reaching. Stay tuned, because this season is only getting started, and it promises to be as thrilling as ever.